What's up, everybody? We are live from veecon here with Kieran Donahue. So what brings you to veecon?
Gary Barton.
Let's go.
Gary asked me if I would come and speak, and I said yes. I was in town, so why not? I'm a rookie to veecon.
I love it. Are you a client of VaynerMedia? Is that
we are not at this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are your friends, though, right?
I've known Gary for a while, yes.
Okay, awesome. Have you worked with him before in other capacities?
I have not worked with him, but we stay in touch, and I admire everything that he's doing, and I like to stay in touch with him because I feel like he's on the cutting edge.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
if I am in marketing, I need to be on the cutting edge, right?
Just been here for a little while so far, but is there anything left today that you're just absolutely excited to see as far as keynotes or panels or anything like that?
Well, I'm kind of excited about my panel.
Yeah, tell us more about it. And
we're going to talk a little bit about technology in the restaurant business, and we've got Adam Richmond is joining us as well, so I'm interested to see where he's going to take the
Adam from
the panel
DoorDash,
discussion.
right?
Yep, exactly. When we work closely with DoorDash as part of our off-premise business, they help deliver our great food to folks that are ordering through DoorDash or through the IHOP app, and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
That's awesome. So I was talking to somebody last night actually about IHOP when they heard that I was going to get a chance to interview you today, and they're huge IHOP fans. And I asked them, I said, well, what do you really like about what they do in marketing? And they thought about it for a second. They said, oh my gosh, they are so good at partnerships, like the pancakes that come out with, different Disney themed characters, or like the partnerships you do with media and entertainment or other like-minded brands. That was something that, one of your consumers really appreciated about your marketing. So just maybe would love to hear a little bit about how do you approach partnerships? What is the formula for a really great brand partnership? And what's maybe one of the favorite ones that you've worked on in the last year or so?
Yeah, no problem. So, first of all, IHOP it's a great family brand. And a lot of times when you say to somebody, hey, I work for IHOP, they're like, oh, I love IHOP. And they have all
a lot of nostalgia.
A lot of nostalgia, a lot of great memories, long-lasting memories, and joy. And so what we like to do is try to partner with films or Xbox, things that where families gather. Whatever you consider a family, we want to be around those things where you gather. And movies are a natural fit. We've done The Grinch, we've done Minions, we just recently did Wonka and If. And what's really fun about that
Wonka sounds delicious.
Wonka was really fun. We had some really whimsical things with Wonka, including purple pancakes. We had blue pancakes for If.
That's good.
But what's really fun with those types of partnerships is we get to be a little whimsical. And I think that we're willing to go there. We're willing to have a little fun, not take ourselves too seriously. I have to really thank our restaurants and our franchisees because they have to go there with us when we come up with these ideas.
They have to operationalize the partnership and get buy-in.
Yes, they do, and there's a lot of work that goes into that. But we like to have some fun, and so we try to pick the partnerships that really we can bring IHOP through in those partnerships, but that they have a little bit of a fun atmosphere to it, family-oriented, and also we can have a little, use some of our products in a new and inventive way.
Yeah, no, I love that. Taking it back to veecon for a minute, you said you've known Gary for a little while. What was your first introduction to Gary and his brand? Has it had an impact on you as a marketer and the way that you think? I'll tell a fast one that was mine. When he started Vayner, he landed GE as a client. I tweeted from an app that I was at a gym, and then GE tweeted back to me saying, hey Dylan, we love that you're, commitment to health and well-being, can you please send us your mailing address? And I was like, this is wild. This has never happened to me on social media. This is 15 years ago. I said, okay, I'll play along. Tweeted my address back. 2 days later, I had a basketball in the mail. And then I took that basketball with a bunch of my coworkers. We went and shot video. We posted on Twitter and we tagged. And I had no idea that that was a Vayner campaign, but I had learned about it later on. So I'm just curious if you have any story like that.
Not quite like that. To be honest with you, how I discovered him was through his wine.
I
happen to have a little side hobby.
Nice.
I'm a little bit of a wino on the side.
Okay.
So that's how I discovered Gary first. And then, he got into VaynerMedia and all this other stuff, and we were at a conference together, and I met him and his team, and I was working for Hilton at the time, and so that's where we connected. So we've probably been connected probably almost a decade at this time, and so I like to stay up to speed with what he's doing because he's always pushing the envelope. and he's always making people think differently about what could be. And so I think that's really important. So sometimes when he's in LA, we'll have dinner together. We'll sit around. He does these round tables, which is really awesome because it's not very often that you get together with other folks from different industries that are marketing or technology driven, and you can really just have an open conversation about what your challenges you're facing. So I really appreciate that about Gary.
Yeah, that seems like a really neat
He's always
venue.
trying to bring people together, and I really benefit from that.
I mean, what a connector, right? If you look at this event, what other person in our industry has, you know, a consumer-facing conference that, you know, thousands of people purchased the initial NFT that's gotten them into this event for the third year. Really talk about someone that like figured out Web3, figured it out, and it wasn't a press release opportunity. It was like a real opportunity to create value, build community. We talked a little bit before we turned on the camera. He has been a little bit polarizing within the advertising community. I feel like there was a time when he was either really beloved or some traditional advertising, especially on the agency side. Maybe they didn't like that they were disrupting his model and winning accounts, but people, you know, kind of spoke poorly about him in certain advertising circles. But I feel like if you think about an example of someone who's built an agency around a personality, I don't really think there's anyone else that even could hold a candle. Even some that do have, you know, three-letter names that are named by the founders. Vayner is really what I would consider probably top grade.
He's really done something. And look, anytime you have a disruptor, right, there's always the naysayers, right? And so you make decisions. You just keep walking forward and trusting your gut. And I think that's probably what Gary's done all his life. So
yeah, I love that. Going back to wine, I actually remembered when he did Wine Library TV, and we did interact a little bit back then. But I'm actually the CMO of a wine brand called Los Cuernos, so I'd love to send you some if you're a wine fan. We are what I would consider the very first good wine in a can. But I'll digress, and I'll let you be the judge.
I will check that out. That would be interesting. Yes,
awesome.
I have had some wine in the can.
Nice.
I tend to prefer bottles, but I will give it a shot.
Look, you know, we're basically
recyclable.
Right, exactly. The sustainability story is definitely part of it. You know, it's what Liquid Death did to the category. But where we're having actually really amazing pull through, and I'd love to get your take on this. We're having amazing pull through in QSR, restaurant, and fast casual because ultimately, you know, we're never going to compete in fine dining because you make too much margin in fine dining with your high-end wines. But on the commissary inside of like nice hotels, but mostly in fast casual restaurants like Wahoo's Fish Tacos, Board and Brew. We're in 400 locations down in San Diego, and we get amazing pull-through in fast casual because usually wine is an afterthought in fast casual. People don't want to have bottles, they don't want to have corkscrews, they don't want to have glass. It disrupts the line of counter service. And when you could give the consumer a great wine experience in a can where they can enjoy good wine with a burger or tacos or something, you know, grab and go fish, you know, fish plates, things like that. That's where we're having amazing success. So
we actually at ihop, there are some, we don't have a lot of restaurants, but some of them do actually serve wine and beer.
Well, hey, we might have to talk about that.
But obviously our sister brands, Applebee's and Fuzzy's, which is a fast casual, they definitely serve wine and beer.
I love it. So. Well, digressing a little bit, but so would love to just bring it back to your role as CMO at ihop. What would you say is one of the biggest marketing challenges that your category has within the, would you consider ihop QSR, or would you call it something else?
No, we consider it full service. I think the biggest challenge that we have is staying connected to our customer. We like to call our customers our guests. Yep. That's really what they are. And we've been working really hard at making sure that our tech stack is very unified. So whether it's our POS, our loyalty system, our payment processing, DSPs, all of those things need to be connected so that we can get a holistic view of our guests. And ultimately, we want to make sure that we can use technology to enable great service with our servers and team members in our restaurants, but also have more personalization with our guests. They're really bringing hospitality to the individual and being very guest-centric. I think sometimes that's really hard in a big brand like ours, but we're using technology to enable that. I think it's a really important piece of where restaurants are heading, and not technology for technology's sake. Technology to increase the service, to increase the hospitality, but do it in terms that both are helpful to our staff, but also valuable to our guests.
Got it. And then that kind of brings up the question of consolidating technology to have a more cohesive user experience as a brand across all the different touch points that you have in user experience and in marketing has been a huge trend over the last few years across a lot of brands, and something that they're trying to solve. Are you also on the trend of in-housing more of those services that would maybe in the past be farmed out to agency partners? What is your take on kind of the in-house or working with agency partners?
So I think we've got a little bit of a blend. From a technology perspective, obviously have an IT team and we manage our website and app internally, but we also work with different companies as well to help with our infrastructure. From a creative perspective, we also have a blend. So we have an internal, or what we call an embedded agency, who does most of a lot of the production work, our menu work. It's managed by a team called Oliver Agency out of New York, but they sit embedded in our offices in Pasadena. Plus, we have a lead creative agency with Piero Odell, POD, out of San Francisco. So we kind of have a blend of a few things. Our approach is it has to be integrated. So whether it's the folks that are sitting in the office with us or folks in San Francisco or LA with Initiative, all of those things need to be working together. And we work really closely with our agencies and demand that they work closely with each other and with us.
Playing in the same sandbox well.
We're all one team, honestly. It's really an extension of ihop when we have all these folks helping us out.
I love it. Coming down to winding this up, what are you most excited about in your role, say, the next 6 months to a year? What's on the horizon, either partnership-wise or anything major coming up that you can talk about, of course, but that you're really excited about in your role?
So I am really excited about a couple of things. Number one, there's some great value coming for our guests over the next quarter and some really fun partnership that we're doing. I cannot talk about it, but I promise you.
Maybe you can come back on the show and announce when you're ready.
Yep, it's right in time for the holidays. It's popular with families.
Let's go, let's go.
So we're excited about that and bringing back a fan favorite, and that's all I'll say about that, a fan favorite food item.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Anything you want to shout out where people might be able to follow you or get in touch if they want to learn more?
Well, first of all, please, by all means, go to ihop.com and order those pancakes. I'm also on LinkedIn.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Dylan.